Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Aaron Rift here, along with Caitlin. We are back for the fourth straight night of NoDQ Live. I would like to thank Caitlin for being a trooper and joining me for these past 4 nights. It has been absolutely amazing to have you on, and I'm sure you have a lot to talk about regarding tonight's Smackdown Live. We also have a breaking news story to discuss. Dean Ambrose is apparently leaving WWE at the end of April, and WWE actually has done something that they've never done before. They released a statement confirming the report that he will be leaving at the end of April. What does this mean? We'll go ahead and talk about Ambrose here in just a little bit. Noah Foster did leave us a $5 super chat to start off the evening. So Noah, thank you so much for that. You guys can check out Noah's page over at nodq.com/Noah. That will take you to his Twitter account. He says, just support NoDQ and may everyone stay in topic. Hashtag simple as that. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about SmackDown. The show opened up with a Becky Lynch promo. She said that she could not resist looking in Ronnie's eyes on Monday Night Raw. And I did want to note that there was a guy, or actually several people, that had AEW shirts, like in the front rows. It's funny because apparently there was that one fan that was at the Royal Rumble and was told to take off the shirt, yet we saw several fans at ringside. And throughout the show, there was never a point where they were told to take off the shirts, to my knowledge. I still saw that guy with the AEW shirt like an hour in. So, not sure if WWE decided to just ease off on that, but those guys had the shirts.
That's what this guy said. Brando the Gaming Championship.
He says, WWE apparently not pulling AEW merchandise off television anymore.
So, yeah.
So we had Becky continue her promo, talk about how she's proud of going from the pre-show to the main event of WrestleMania 35. She said she's going to break Ronda Rousey's arm in front of the entire world. And then we had Charlotte come out, and she was basically really sarcastic, congratulating Becky for getting out of the kickoff and in the main event, and then basically said that it was her that brought Becky to the main event, and she said, "You're welcome, Becky." And then Becky responded with a punch to Charlotte. Becky was sporting a black eye, it looked like to me. No, was that Daniel Bryan?
Well, Daniel Bryan was. I don't know if Becky was, but she sounded like she was sick, like coming down with
Yeah,
a
she
cold.
did sound like she was sick, and she was also limping. That's it. I confused the two. Bryan was the one that had the black eye. Becky walked out, and then it was shown later on Becky was trying to be interviewed, and then she was acting like she was okay, not being checked out by the medical team. So they're teasing that Becky might be more hurt than she's leading people to believe. What did Big G say?
You want me to read
Yeah,
it?
go for it.
Big G with a $2 super chat donation. Oh, you didn't know?
It's the B-I-G-G. Oh, I screwed it up. B-I-double-G, the Big G.
I liked that super chat.
I like it too. Thank you for that, Big G. So we had R-Truth and Carmella come out, and I'm looking forward to your opinion on this because I know you're a big R-Truth and Carmella fan. Mm-hmm. You've done some amazing dance breaks over the past couple weeks. R-Truth came out and talked about how he worked hard. Actually, Carmella was talking about how they had worked hard by winning the Mixed Match Challenge, only for R-Truth to basically be screwed over at the Royal Rumble, being taken out of the match. R-Truth said that 1 minute he was rapping, the next minute he was napping. And then, yeah, I know, it was a silly line. We had the McMahons apparently grant R-Truth a United States Championship match as a consolation prize, I guess, for getting jumped by Nia Jax. Nakamura came out to defend the title. He attacked R-Truth right away, and then we had what was a very quick match. We were just chatting and we basically missed the finish because it just happened so quickly, and it looked like a botch. R-Truth, with a small package, won the United States title. I mean, what were your thoughts and reaction to this?
Well, yeah, when it first happened, we were confused, like you said. But I don't really mind R-Truth being U.S. champion because I think he is funny, talented, and we're always interested when he's on screen. But it was just kind of weird that you know, we had the title change on the kickoff at Royal Rumble, and then here we go, and then, as you'll say, it continues on more this segment. So,
Right. Yeah, so there was a lot of confusion. Nakamura was confused. The referee did signal for the bell right away. I think it was probably just some kind of miscue. It was pretty clear that the whole thing was planned with how it played out, but it did look like a botch to me. Any comments in the chat, like people reacting to the specific moment where R-Truth won the title?
someone, Michael Wayne says it was a botch finish.
I mean, that's what I thought looking at it. I think that they just had some kind of timing miscue, and it was supposed to be that finish all along because let me tell you what happened. We had Rusev come out and basically demand a rematch, saying that R-Truth was certainly not worthy of being the champion, and then he wanted a match right there in the ring, and R-Truth was hesitant about doing this, but then Rusev shoved him, and then Truth finally gave in, and they had the match. And then another big surprise. R-Truth beats Rusev with a roll-up. So there you go. Makes me think the whole thing was planned out with Nakamura for both Nakamura and Rusev to go down to R-Truth, which is really strange. I mean, this is a push pretty much out of nowhere. Curious to see what you guys in the chat room think about this renewed R-Truth push. But like you said, you don't really have a problem with him being champion. And I feel bad for Rusev and R-Truth at this stage of their careers. And why couldn't we just have Aiden English come back and beat both of them in a fluke or whatever?
No, thank you. But Cindy says
what?
The U.S. Championship is 2017 all over again. She said that a couple times. And also, she said the U.S. title switch is becoming meaningless to the point where it's becoming irrelevant. So she doesn't like it, I take it. Let's
see the new super chat from Tony H. R-Truth pre-show U.S. title match at WrestleMania confirmed.
Possibly.
Right. So afterwards, we had not just Nakamura, but Rusev as well. Both of them took out R-Truth. So it looks like Rusev is officially a heel again. What do we have here?
Don Wooding with a $5 super chat donation. So what do you two think of Miz and Shane's tag team being called Awesome Empire instead of Mac and Miz, future Mr. and Mrs. Rift? Wink. So what do you think of that?
Well, I think you might want to stick to the topic, but I do appreciate the super chat and I do appreciate the sentiment at the end.
I don't think anything of what they call their tag team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a big fan of the tag team in the first place, but I guess it's entertaining. So sure, why not? Awesome Empire. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I really don't have a personal preference one way or another. But thank you for the super chat, Donald. I do appreciate it. Where were we now? Okay, so yeah, Rusev has basically turned heel again. Rusev Day looks to be dead, which is sad because he was red hot and now he's pretty much going nowhere, losing to R-Truth.
Well, you know what I thought was interesting is, so he came out and they were chanting Rusev Day, and then when he kind of started talking bad to R-Truth, then they started booing him right away.
Right.
So I think that people maybe are more with R-Truth than...
Well, yeah, when Rusev...
commenters like to think.
Yeah, when Rusev came out there, I kind of sensed maybe that was where it was going because he was talking down to him and kind of being a prick. So
yeah,
I'm not really surprised it ended up that way, but still, the fact that why is R-Truth getting pushed all of a sudden? And what does it say about Nakamura and Rusev when they both lose to a guy who basically doesn't even make the Royal Rumble match because he's an idiot and doesn't look behind his back? I don't know. The same guy that will come out with a ladder in the Royal Rumble and he's beating these guys.
He's funny.
He is funny, but, you know, what does it say about Nakamura and Rusev when they get their ass kicked by this guy? And then we had a backstage segment with Anderson and Gallows, and they were asking Rusev what his problem was. Rusev told them to go back to catering, and then a challenge was issued, and that led to Nakamura coming in and accepting the challenge. So it looks like we got a tag team match. Rusev and Nakamura will be teaming up one time only, according to Rusev, and he says that Nakamura better not screw him over. So there you go. interesting segment here on SmackDown. I definitely was not expecting this going in. I like how we were talking about it, though, where we were thinking, is R-Truth going to win the title here? Is Nakamura? I mean, it's crazy that we even think that, but then again, it happened, so anything can happen in WWE, I guess. Maybe they're trying to bring back that unpredictability feeling that we would used to get watching the shows back in the day. All right, what did Gary say? Gary with the $2 super chat.
Why does WWE keep making top faces turn heel?
That's a great question, and it hasn't really been working lately. You had Dean Ambrose turn heel recently, and look what happened to him. Rusev just doesn't really make sense. You know, if you're going to turn somebody who's cooling off. Don't turn somebody when they're red hot. Although Rusev has admittedly cooled off quite a bit in recent weeks, unfortunately. Moving on here. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Mike B with a $49.99 super chat donation. That's $49.99. Does that mean you have to do a dance break?
I think you missed a penny.
I know I know I'm off topic. I'm sorry. Forgive me, please. Anyway, is Triple H doing the big show with the face and heel switches? Talk about this after, but could the Dean Ambrose story be a work? Dance break from both of you, please. You're off a penny, my friend. No, just
I know.
We'll wait till the end on that.
Yeah.
We'll save that to the end, so
stick around.
So people that want to see it will stay tuned in, and those that don't can not have to bear the atrocity of me attempting to do a dance break. All right.
Answer the Dean Ambrose part, though?
Yeah, we will talk about that in a little bit. And yeah, Triple H, especially this week, seemed like a babyface when the other week he was talking down to Seth Rollins. So yeah, it's very confusing. And then Vince doing the same thing where 1 week he's a heel, 1 week he's a face. Dan Sky with the $2 super chat donation. He says, why do you think WWE is so obsessed with heel heat? Well, you want to have your good guys, you want to have your bad guys, so you want that dynamic. The problem is that I think they're so obsessed with the cheap heat that it just really gets old, and there's not really innovation when it comes to heel heat. It just seems like it's the same routine every week. I think that's what the obsession is, just the cheap, make fun of the sports team, make fun of the city type thing, and it's very much played out. And now I think we're going to see Elias go back to that. There's a good one, you know, asking the question of why we're seeing so many guys that are hot turning heel. Elias was on a roll, you know. He was getting great reactions, and you were doing the walk with Elias at the Royal Rumble, and then he turns heel. So there you go. I don't know what's up with that, but it was pretty random, I think, to turn poor Elias back heel again when he was doing pretty well, as far as I'm concerned, when it came to being a babyface character. All right, so moving on here, we had the, let me make sure I'm not jumping ahead here too far. Okay, so we had the Miz and Shane celebration segment, but there were no fireworks or confetti, no champagne. We just had Miz and Shane. Miz was like, Phoenix is ready to party, but Shane said that they don't need all that fancy stuff because he has something that would change Miz's life forever. First, we got a video package, which I'm guessing did not change Miz's life forever. It was a nice video package, though, but usual stuff. Then we had Miz be introduced to his father, who was brought out. And, of course, the build-up for the match was that Miz said his father was never proud of him, and that's something that both of them struggled with, trying to get their fathers to love them. And then we had this very emotional moment, tearjerker, with Miz's dad, George, getting in the ring and saying that he loves his son and he's very proud of him. Aw, so sweet.
It was cute.
It was cute. Then we had a Mr. Miz chant from the fans. I like this crowd. I think Phoenix was overall a really strong crowd throughout the 4 nights. Gary with a $2 super chat donation. What was his comment?
WWE has no logic. This is why Ambrose is walking out.
Well, I'm not sure what he's referring to specifically. Maybe this segment, but can't say for sure. Thank you for the super chat, though. We had Shane McMahon announce that there would be an elimination match to determine their challengers for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. So we had that four-way match, which we'll get to here in a minute. We had a backstage segment with Sonya and Mandy Rose. We had footage of Naomi from Tough Enough referring to Mandy as weak, and this apparently traumatized Mandy to the point where her boyfriend dumped her, and I guess that's the root of this conflict between Mandy and Naomi and why she wants to ruin Naomi's life. So there you go. The plot thickens. I'll give them credit for trying to be creative here and coming up with something to advance this storyline. So I didn't have a problem with it. Next up, we had Rey Mysterio come out, and then Zelina Vega did a promo saying that Rey was getting too distracted by her, and that's what led to a distraction. We had Andrade Cien Almas. I just screwed it up. It's just Andrade. I need to get with the program here. Andrade attacked Mysterio from behind. Mysterio fought back, but then the 619 got blocked, and Andrade hit the hammerlock DDT while wearing this nice suit, and that was the whole segment. So there you go. Next up, we had the four-way elimination match with the Usos, The Bar, New Day, and Heavy Machinery. Otis and Big E were doing some kind of little exchange where Big E was gyrating and Otis was like having a seizure or something. It was quite bizarre. New Day, they were the first team eliminated by Heavy Machinery, and then with a brogue kick, the Heavy Machinery got eliminated, and then the Usos pinned Sheamus to win the match. So at Elimination Chamber, it will be Shane McMahon and The Miz, the Awesome Empire, as Donald put it, facing the team of the Usos at Elimination Chamber. Your thoughts on this match? Do you think the team's going to break up, or do you think the Usos are going to win? I know we're predicting early here, but what's your general feeling on this? What would you like to see happen? I'd like to see the Usos win, but that's just me personally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too much of a fan, as I said, of Shane and The Miz, but
I mean, what are your thoughts on the tag division right now? Because while we were watching, you were talking about your thoughts on there being just the same matches.
Yeah, because it's been like the New Day, The Bar, and
Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, Bar. So who's the third team? I'm blanking. Usos, yeah. It's been them like over and over in different configurations, so we kind of wanted something new. Other Aaron and I were texting about, maybe Sanity could have been in there, and also the Good Brothers, instead of the same match again, with Heavy Machinery added in, but at least they got a little bit of a showing, I guess. As far as who wins, I don't care. Between Shane and The Miz and the Usos.
All right, let's move on here. So we had a recap of Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles from the Royal Rumble. We had Daniel Bryan come out and ask the people who won at the Royal Rumble, which led to a Becky chant from the fans. The fans, like I said, I think the Phoenix fans were awesome this week. They
were good tonight.
I thought they were great the whole weekend for the most part. Gary with another $2 super chat. Thank you, Gary. What did he say?
Again, the Usos, yet again, a title shot. Shaking my head.
What's wrong with the Usos? I love the Usos.
I like the Usos.
I don't have a problem with them.
Maybe same thing. He doesn't want the same 3 teams cycling in.
Gotta get a couple of them over to Raw, or maybe just one of them, because then if they all jump to Raw, then they'll all be on Raw.
Then it's the same thing again.
Yeah, so you gotta get at least one team, I think, over in the Superstar Shakeup, not the Stupid Star Shakeup.
No, maybe.
Although it may end up being like that when it's all said and done. So anyways, Daniel Bryan cut his promo about how he's the planet's champion and nobody in the crowd knows what it's like to win. And then he brought out his new man, Eric Rowan, who had a recycle logo for the O on his Titantron. And by the way, Bryan had the Yes is Dead on his Titantron, and I'm not sure if that's new or not, but it was the first time I noticed it, and you brought it up too, so maybe it was new. If it's not, don't shoot us. We just noticed it. Rowan came out, and Bryan referred to him as his intellectual peer, and how Rowan sees through the facade, blah, blah, blah. Bryan then admitted that AJ was right about him. he is a hypocrite because he carries around that title that is bad for the earth. Rowan grabbed the trash can. We had a recreation of 1995 with Medusa, only this time it was the WWE title going in the trash. Big G with a $2 super chat donation. By the way, no Asuka tonight. Yeah, that is true. No SmackDown Women's Champion who tapped out Asuka. Asuka doesn't even get TV time, so there you go. But anyways, back to the segment. Brian talked about how the title was made from cheap labor, and it was, Zombie Fighter 89 with a $2 super chat donation, but no comment. Thank you for that. Oh, and Mark is in the chat room. The finalist in the Wrestling Trivia Challenge tournament. Good luck against Jeff. Maybe you'll actually be able to...
Yeah, you misspoke. Asuka tapped out Asuka. What?
Oh, well, there you go. Botch. But yeah, I just wanted to say real quick, make sure you guys check out the final match of the Wrestling Trivia Challenge tournament coming up soon on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. And Gary with a $2 super chat. Heel Brian is best for business. Do you guys agree? Yeah, I would say so. I was very entertained by this segment, and I'm sure you were too. What were your thoughts on the segment overall with Brian introducing the new championship?
It was really funny. And the Daisy comments, and then everybody chanting different things. With Daisy.
You had Brian referencing how the belt was made from the skin of a cow that is no longer alive. Poor Daisy. He had to name the cow, give it a name. And the crowd started chanting "Goodbye, Daisy" when he dumped the title. Yeah, and then he brought out the eco-friendly title, which was, according to him, made from sustainable organic hemp.
Well, and speaking of that, she said a couple times, Cindy, my fiance, Mr. Bryce, wants to know, how is the title eco-friendly?
Well, it had rocks in it from the earth, and yeah, it's made from the. Well, what did Brian say? It was made from the natural flowing oak of the world.
Okay.
So there you go.
Jinx.
It is organic.
And do we think that they should have acknowledged Becky tapping?
Well, they didn't even have Asuka on the show, so I guess the idea is we're supposed to forget about it. I don't know what else to say. Oh, Cindy said thanks. Okay, cool. But yeah, so AJ Styles came out, and then he asked Brian if Brian smoked the prototype of the new championship. By the way, I wonder if RVD might come back now so he can win this hemp championship. Tony H with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Tony. Heel Brian should stay champion for all of 2019. Yes. I would not be opposed to that. I mean, I love this new Daniel Bryan. By the way, what's the deal with AJ Styles? They keep calling him the real AJ Styles. Was he the fake AJ Styles before? I'm still trying to understand why he's real all of a sudden. Like, I know Daniel Bryan's the new Daniel Bryan, but I'm not getting the AJ, real AJ moniker. Just don't know what the deal with that is.
I don't either.
He punches Vince, so he's the new AJ. And again, where was the follow-up for that? There was none. So we had Randy Orton's music hit, and then they went to commercial, which was really bizarre. And then when we came back, we had one of those segments where just one person after another came out. I think Jeff Hardy was already in the ring. Mustafa Ali came out, and then Orton responded to him by saying, "Didn't you get eliminated by a woman at the Royal Rumble?" And then Samoa Joe came out and had a line towards Jeff Hardy saying, "Jeff Hardy, you need to act like this is an AA meeting and shut up while I talk." Gary with a $2 super chat donation. He says, "No DQ rocks. Keep up the good work, Rift. Good night, guys." You're going to miss the dance break, Gary. I guess you can watch it on demand. So Joe started talking trash about everybody. Joe asked how Wendy was doing, and then AJ, you don't mess with AJ's wife, so AJ just punched out Samoa Joe. We had a big fight. Brian was complaining about not wanting to fight any of these guys. Triple H came out and said, not only are you going to fight these guys, but you're going to fight them inside the Elimination Chamber for the WWE title at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. The fight continued, and SmackDown went off the air. So that was SmackDown, everybody, and we will be talking about Dean Ambrose here, so don't go anywhere. And apparently we're still going to do the dance break, so stay tuned for that. let's go ahead and do our letter grade for SmackDown before we get to the Dean Ambrose story. So your thoughts on the show and your letter grade.
Well, I think, I'm trying to remember what I gave Raw yesterday. B+ or something? I think
You gave it a better grade than I did. I think I gave it a C+, actually.
Yeah, you gave it lower, but I end up thinking they were about equal because I did laugh a lot during SmackDown. And I was very tired during Raw, so that hurt its grade, I think. So I don't know. I think I'll stay the same as what I was, B+.
Oh, B+. Well, that's a good rating for SmackDown. Kev Dog with a B, Henry 10 with a B, Mike B with a B+, Garrett Mills with a B+, A from Lewis, Jake L with a D-, or B-, sorry. B- from Canaanite, Gary with a C, 90s guy with a B, Gary with a C. So a lot of Bs. You know, I did enjoy it. I was entertained by the show. I mean, I wasn't bored by it. Obviously with you here, I'm never going to be bored.
Wait, Aaron gave it a C. What was your grade for yesterday, Aaron? I'd like to see.
You'd like to see
why
she gave it a C.
What your grade for Raw was.
I thought SmackDown was an entertaining show. The R-Truth thing definitely has me scratching my head, though. But,
B-.
you know, overall, I think I'm just going to give it a solid B. I'm not going to give it a B+, but I will give it a B. I thought it was an entertaining SmackDown, as usual. It was definitely a fast-moving show, which I did like. I did appreciate that. So there you go. B for SmackDown. All right, let's talk about the big story today, which is Dean Ambrose is apparently on his way out of WWE. Ambrose is apparently unhappy with his position in the company, and who can blame him? The heel turn, as I've mentioned for weeks, was pretty botched. I mean, let's face it. He had a lot of heat for doing what he did when Roman announced his leukemia illness. But the follow-up for it was just very lackluster, and apparently Ambrose is not a fan of the hokey aspect of his character, which, again, I agree with. I've been saying this for the longest time. Let this guy be a psychopath. Stop doing comedy with his character. That's what I've been saying for the longest time. And he just keeps doing the comedy. And even as a heel, he just felt like he was very watered down and really lacked an edge to the character. And I'm not talking about Adam Copeland. I'm just saying he just didn't have that demented personality that I would hope that he would have, where the envelope would be pushed and you would fear the guy instead of like basically laughing at what he does, you know, coming out there. He was doing the cheap heat, going back to the cheap heat again. You know, that's not what you should be doing with Ambrose's character, in my opinion. But I think the thing that's confusing people right now is the fact that WWE announced it. They confirmed the rumor. And we have, what's the super chat here?
Dustin Herrick, $2 super chat donation. Anyway, this could be a CM Punk work?
So this was the question also from earlier. Do we think that this is a work? I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think the announcement is strange? And do you think it could possibly be a work? Oh, and Tony H, before you answer that, Tony H, hold that thought.
Okay.
Tony H with the $2 super chat says, Triple H versus Ambrose at WrestleMania and let it blur the lines. So he would like to see them like do some kind of storyline out of this. But what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I did think it was weird that it was announced like that because I was considering how they don't really say that months ahead for anyone else. So I did find that suspicious, but I don't know. I think it would be kind of weird if it was a word.
Yeah, I mean, this is unprecedented because I don't remember the last time that WWE actually announced somebody was leaving the company 3 months before their contract expires, and he was just on Raw this week. There was a tease for Nia Jax, but why announce he's leaving? Because then people know he's not going to be winning matches if he's on his way out. Very bizarre as to why WWE would announce this, unless they made a decision they're taking him off television and they're done using him as a TV character, which could be the case. I guess we'll find out. If he's not on Raw next week, then they may just decide he's off television. They're not going to invest in him anymore in storylines. Because on Raw, it did feel like there was a tease for a match with Nia Jax, as we talked about last night. Maybe an intergender match, and maybe he loses to Nia on the way out. But I feel like if this is legitimate, I feel like they're probably just going to take him off TV. Otherwise, announcing it like this, to me, really makes no sense. If he's going to keep being on TV every week when he's leaving,
right?
And you just told everybody that he's leaving, very perplexing stuff. But I mean, if this is legitimate, I mean, do you feel like he's justified in leaving and wanting to go do something else?
Well, I think they'd be justified for any reason. Anyone that wants to leave,
right,
doesn't have to have a reason that makes sense to us. But yeah, he has been, I guess, both maybe utilized in the wrong way and not really performing the best as well.
So you feel like he's been like maybe off a step or two since coming back? I mean, I could see that. I mean, definitely. I think like he was also working really well as a face, just his style, and as a heel, he just didn't really, it just didn't really work. And you look at the TLC match, I think that was just proof right there that something was not connecting with the audience, whether it was his in-ring style as a heel, maybe the promos, maybe a combination of everything, just wasn't really making a connection with the audience. But yeah, that's what we know about Dean Ambrose at this point. Make sure you stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding Dean Ambrose, and we'll have to wait and see what happens if he ends up appearing on television or if WWE's just going to basically drop him as a character. He's still booked for live events. He's going to be facing Seth Rollins at house shows. So he is scheduled to be around for a while. And maybe this would explain why he lost the IC title, because we're all thinking, like, this is very bizarre. Why would he be dropping the title like this? You know, it's just ruining him, you know, to lose the title like that. And he took the fall also. So I think that maybe was a sign that he was on his way out, because apparently he was in negotiations with WWE for a while, but, you know, recently he gave notice and said he was leaving. But I guess the final decision wasn't made until Royal Rumble weekend. So the whole thing is very bizarre, but I'm sure there will be more information coming out very soon.
The other weird thing in their comment was how they were very much like, we hope we see him again, and like, you know, they said way more than they do with anyone else, where it's always just like, we hope you do well in your future endeavors, and that's it. Like, they added a couple extra comments for him.
All right. So what do you guys in the chat room think about Dean Ambrose? Do you think it's a work? Do you think it's a shoot? Let us know in the chat room what you think, and let's get some of the comments from you guys about Dean Ambrose, and if you think that this is somehow WWE trying to do a bizarre storyline where they're gonna blur the lines between reality and fiction here. What are some of the responses here from people?
More faves, work. Somebody said John Moxley to AEW. I don't care. He's a non-factor in my opinion. Ambrose is an irrelevant character. It's a work. Yeah, he's definitely going to AEW. Should leave and then come back in a couple of years. This will make me uncomfortable, FYI.
What?
Yes, it will.
Well, how else are we supposed to do it?
I'll just do it.
Okay. Don't you need music?
No.
Okay. I queued up music for her, and she's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that makes me more uncomfortable if there's, like, dance break music playing. I'll just do the floss move, and that will be it.
Okay. I don't even know how to do the floss move.
But we have to move that stuff, though, so that we can flip the
How are we supposed to do this?
All right, you stay and talk to them. I'll move this.
Okay. Well, I guess I will be talking to you guys here for a few minutes. How's it going, everybody? Let me pull up the chat room so I can get a few more comments from you guys about SmackDown and Dean Ambrose. Somebody said turn the music on. They want to hear the music.
I'm not going to do it, then.
Oh, there you go. Aaron, will you be doing a review of the Halftime Heat show? At this time, I wasn't planning on doing it. I really don't see the point in doing a recap of just one match, but I will check it out, and I'm sure it will be on demand on the WWE Network. But yeah, I don't think I'm like going to do a review or a NoDQ Live or anything. I think after this week, I need a break from NoDQ Live. Just, you know, four days in a row is a little overkill, and I will be doing the NoDQ video, and we'll be doing the trivia, the finals. By the way, make sure you check that out. So how do you want to do this?
All right, so just turn it towards that back corner.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and sign off here, but before we go, we'll give you a little bit of a dance break. I guess this will be a dance closure.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do the move.
I did not lose my smile. Let's just put it that way. I just, you know, we do 4 nights of NoDQ Live. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Also, I'm in sweats, so there's that.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to move over here, and we are going to attempt to do a dance break.
Okay, so just not that far.
Oops.
Sorry.
Technical issues here.
I was like, I don't want this in the shot. And it is in the shot now. Okay. And my face is not. All right, here we go. Wait a minute.
How do I do this?
I just hit you. You're in my way.
Well, they said me to do it too, and I don't know how to do the dance break. Okay.
All right, now your turn. You go.
How do I... Here. Show me how to do it.
Wait. Okay, hold on.
Teach me.
So wait, all right.
Teach me how to Dougie.
Okay, so your hip goes this way first.
Okay.
And you put your arms like this. And then you flip this way. Now you go back. So, boom, boom. And then you